Hey guys, how are we today? I Wait today. Okay, I had to get my phone going. I know there's supposed to be storms all across today, and I want you guys to make sure that you're listening for that for weather alerts and just put me down really low or um pay attention and stay safe for yourselves for sure. I think they're supposed to be around here tonight, so I hate night storms, the absolute worst. Hey Jen and Trista and Aaron and Heather, it's good to see you guys. Um, yeah, I'm just kind of worried about the storms today, Aaron. My mom is one of those that like freaks out really bad about the storms and she freaks me out and gets me scared, but we'll be all right. We're safe now and we'll pray our way through it like always. And I do want to talk about that, you guys. Since our last stream where I spoke about James Ray, he was found deceased. Remember Fat Man's store that I showed you guys? And he was found about 3,000 feet from there. And if I remember correctly from math class, 5,000 feet is a mile. So a little under a mile he was found. And he was found in a pond. And what I read, they said that that area had been searched before, but they missed him because of his dark clothing and the cold water. And so, since it's warmed up lately, what I read, it said that the landowner's daughter was fallen and she's the one that found him. So, let's pray for Jessica and his daughters and also for the girl that found him. That must be awful too, you guys. I do want to drop Jessica's GoFundMe again. I'm not sure if they had insurance or whatever to cover, last expenses. You guys know how expensive those can be. And then now she's going to have to raise her three daughters on just her salary. So, yeah. And honestly, you guys, I thought about just canceling. Yes, Aaron, we will definitely look into that. Absolutely. Um, I thought about canceling today, you guys, but every week we do our good ending lives or positive resolution lives. And I think that we know that the odds are against us when we speak about these cases. And more times than not, it's not good endings. But I think that we have to remind ourselves that there's still a chance, because if we speak about these cases and we don't feel that there's any chance for a positive outcome, it's not going to help us and it's not going to help anybody else. So I think that that's good to do. Hey, Chris, it's good to see you, and Vanessa. Yeah. Hey, Thistle, it's good to see you too. Okay, guys. So first, today, did you guys hear about the 3-year-old that was there was an Amber Alert out for him in Massachusetts on Friday? Yeah, absolutely. It was Friday, but it only lasted about 15 minutes, thank goodness. Let's see here. This is 3-year-old Liam Pagone, you guys. He was outside in his mom's car. And we all know the dangers of leaving children in the car, especially a 3-year-old. So I'm not, thankfully, this had a good outcome. But think of all the times that, leaving children, it's not a good idea any way you look at it. But I'm not going to focus on that. He was outside in his mom's car outside of a business, and it was about 8:51 a.m. and her car was stolen. Um, and so they put an Amber Alert out about 10:30 a.m., but thankfully it was canceled about 15 minutes later. The police tracked the car by license plate reader, so it might have been flock cameras, like Heather talks about the flock cameras. So let me find what I'm looking for. Let's see here. And when they backtracked it and what they could figure out about, so the car was stolen about 8:51 a.m. and at 9:05 a.m. the suspect is seen dropping off little Liam in the parking lot of a Roadway Inn and Suites, and he had actually made it to Connecticut in this time. So he was in Massachusetts and went into Connecticut. So he's facing all kinds of charges in two states, which he very well should be. And thankfully, when little Liam was dropped off, he only spent about 1 minute by himself until a man walking his dog found him. So I wanted to show you guys that. Hang on just a second. Well, goodness gracious, this ad is 20 seconds long. I'll go ahead and read you guys what this says. A 3-year-old boy who was in a car that was stolen in Chicopee, Massachusetts, was found safe at a hotel in East Windsor, Connecticut. And yeah, after he dropped off the little boy at the Roadway Inn in Connecticut, he then went on to an Anytime Fitness, and that's where they found the car, the stolen car, and they found him. So he was apprehended. Let's see here. Well, that's about everything that I told you guys already. So we'll just watch this video now.
Use Old Spice too.
Babe, actually, that's my.
I guess someone just dropped the kid off, huh?
Security footage from East Windsor's Roadway Inn showing a 3-year-old child with autism left behind in the parking lot.
That's really concerning, that somebody has the capability to just not care.
Investigators say 52-year-old Vadim Vorobyov stole a woman's car just before 9 a.m. Friday morning and drove it with the child inside from Chicopee, Massachusetts to East Windsor. That's where he left the child in a motel parking lot.
In minutes, every officer on the street was down there searching.
David Charbonneau was a guest at the inn. He said he was walking his dog when he found the child outside.
I brought him in here, and yeah, we were just trying to figure out if we.
Thankfully, he was the one that found him, you guys. What if some I was thinking of a really bad word to say right now, but you guys know, what if one of those guys on the SO list found him, could have snatched him right up and we would have never seen the baby again. So thankfully this man found him, and he found him about 9:05, but I guess they took him in and tried to find out if his parents were guests there and things like that. So they didn't end up calling the police until after 10:30, after the Amber Alert was issued.
It was someone who stayed here, so I mean, all the workers here were doing their best to try to find out, if it was someone who stayed here, and called the manager, and once the manager came, the manager called the police right away.
The police then brought the child to the hospital out of precaution, and shortly after, investigators caught the suspect and the car he stole in this Windsor shopping center around 10:40 a.m.
We saturated the area with personnel, all local law enforcement agencies, Enfield PD, Windsor Locks, Windsor. It's a team effort. Anytime your child's abducted, we're going to pull out all stops to get the kid.
Genevieve Diggs, who was working at the nearby Dollar Tree, said she witnessed the whole thing.
He got arrested, and then he said he wanted coffee.
Just to be that flippant after doing what you did is just absurd.
Vorobyov is facing.
Yeah, okay. Just I'll take cream and sugar with my coffee. You guys know what I mean? How crazy is this?
charges of kidnapping, risk of injury, reckless endangerment, and larceny, and is expected to face even more charges in Massachusetts. Now, police say this appears to be random, but the investigation is ongoing. The suspect is currently being held on a $2 million bond and is set to be arraigned at Hartford Superior Court on Monday, then transported back to Massachusetts. Reporting in Windsor, Dave Peck, NBC.
Hey, Inspector Gadget, it's good to see you. Are you having storms too? Okay, you guys, so I want to tell you all the charges that he faces. Second-degree kidnapping, risk of injury to a child, first-degree larceny, and first-degree reckless endangerment. Those are in Connecticut. And then he will be charged with kidnapping, child endangerment, and motor vehicle larceny when he makes it back to Massachusetts. So I hope that they throw the book at him, you guys, for real, for real. And I hope that the mother might also face some kind of little charges for leaving her child alone in a car like that. So she'll think twice about, I mean, I'm sure she won't do it again after what happened, but still, you guys, I mean, when I was little, you know, I'm kind of up there now, but even when I was little, me and my mama were talking about it, and she said she remembers when I was little that I ratted out my dad, telling her that he left me in the truck by myself when he went into the convenience store. So even back then, it wasn't good to do. Well, it's never been good to do, but people even knew about it back then, that it wasn't good to do. Okay, let's see here. Now, I actually want to share something with you guys that Trista shared with me. This is 17-year-old Kenzie Mullins. And on 3/24/24, she was in an accident. And thankfully, she's okay, you guys. Just scratches on her feet and on her hands, because you guys know this is good Indians lot. So she is okay. But her dad, when he first came upon the accident, he decided to record it. And the video that he recorded actually has 13 million shares on Facebook. You guys, so I wanted to show you that. Hey, Nicole. It's good to see you. Hey, it's just me, Kentucky. It's good to see you. Look out for the storms. They're all over Kentucky right now. Okay. Let me get this video and then I'll come back to you guys. It's been a week since I've done this, you guys, and I've already forgotten. Oh my goodness. We'll get there. Okay.
My daughter called me this morning, and she was just saying over and over again, "Dad, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry." Dad, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry.
How scary is this, you guys? Just think if your daughter called you and you came upon it and saw something like this. I meant to give a warning to you guys, because I know sometimes accident photos like this can upset people. It upsets me sometimes too, so please look out for yourself, okay?
But you see, this is bad. As bad as this looks, as bad as this is, I want you to see something. You've got to see this. Open the door, Kenzie. This is my daughter. She was in this car. My God is an amazing God. She's got a little bit of scratches on her hands, a little bit of scratches on her feet, and that's all. I serve an amazing God. If you don't believe in him this morning, you can look at this. That guardrail is on the driver's side. She crawled out the back window and she was in the road when I got here. My God is amazing. He is amazing. If you don't know him, contact me, ask me. I will tell you about an awesome God that not only saved my daughter from this wreck, but will save you from your sin.
I know a lot of you guys aren't religious, and I tell people all the time that even my friends that aren't religious, they still respect me, and I really appreciate you guys watching anyways. And this video had 13 million views, and either way you look at it, it reached 13 million people, you know, and I think that's really good. They said that it was how did they word it? Inattentiveness. So I'm not sure exactly what she was looking at, but she is a new driver, 17 years old. So I know, Debbie, you always do, and I appreciate that so much. Jen, thank you so much. That means so much to me. It really, really does, you guys. There's nothing wrong with having an open mind, even if you aren't a practicing Christian right now. There's nothing wrong with having an open mind and just looking into things. Yeah, I know, Heather. Me and my mama were talking about it, and how did it end up through there? I have no idea. Okay, I'll let you guys finish watching this.
Sins and eternity in hell. That's why he came to this earth, to die for you. Please worship him this Sunday morning. Please worship him. If you are a lukewarm Christian, remember how big a God you serve and get on fire for him.
I'm coming back to you guys. Hang on. Okay. I know it's crazy, you guys, but I did also find an interview with the dad. I'll get you guys that in just 1 second. I know, Trista. I'm so glad that you sent that to me. It gives you chills when you think about it. Probably have another ad, you guys. Oh my goodness. Yeah. Hang on just a second. I'll come back and get you guys. I saved you guys from having to watch the commercial. Hang on.
After his teenage daughter survived that car accident.
Yeah, which caused a guardrail to go through the vehicle.
I know it's kind of low, you guys. Sleuth Mom boosts her audio somehow, and I think she has some kind of an extension. So I'm going to ask her about that so I can try to fix it for you guys. Let me see if I can turn it up, Beanie. I think that's it.
Inches away from her head, our Jordan James has the harrowing story of survival.
You've got to see this.
With sirens sounding,
This is my daughter.
reality set in
She was in this
for
car.
Kevin Mullins after his daughter survived a near-fatal crash.
When you look at that, and that was just the first thing came to my mind was what an awesome God we serve that he allowed my daughter to come through that.
The 17-year-old was traveling down a Gibson County road on March 24th when she allegedly got distracted and hit a guardrail, causing the vehicle to flip while the rail came crashing through the windshield, but managed to escape unharmed.
And she was in the road when I got here. My
Yeah,
God
it just said that she
is
got
amazing.
distracted somehow, you guys. I don't know how, but it's easy to do, especially when you're a new driver.
He is amazing.
It's an outcome that inspired Mullins to make a video about it on Facebook, where it has been viewed more than 13 million times.
What do you think it was that resonated with so many people across the world?
I mean, this was a 2-minute video filmed by a desperate father.
A little bit of scratches on her hands, a little bit of scratches on her feet, and that's all. I serve an amazing God. If you don't believe in him this morning, you can look at this.
We're looking for something in this world to hang on to. We're looking for hope. And I think when people see that, they get a glimpse of something that they want.
For this father, it's hope derived from his faith after his worst nightmare came to light.
If she had not survived the wreck, he's still God. If you've got him here, tell him you love him.
Reporting in Nashville, Jordan James, WSMB4.
Amazing.
So she has a great testimony to tell you guys. I'm so glad that it turned out good for them. I also have another story about I think this child was 4 years old in DeLand, Florida, and his parents. I love you too, Trista. Stay safe. It was on the 29th, so just this past Friday, and I don't know the circumstances of him going missing. This is a new, it was new. I just saw it come up in my algorithm on YouTube, and I know you guys probably have the same algorithm because you watch the same stuff, so you might have already seen it. But he went missing, and they called out everybody they could. I heard helicopters in the background, all of the Chris loose gravel and rolled their car. Oh my goodness, I remember you telling me about that. Oh no. Well, thankfully she's okay too. So the police said that they, them being parents too, they all came out as soon as they could. I just heard thunder, you guys. We'll be all right. We have prayed through storms before, you guys, and we'll do it again. We've prayed before together, and we'll do it again. We'll all be all right. So thankfully, they found the baby in 45 minutes, you guys, and it was Officer Damon Clark and his 3-year-old companion, Midnight. He's a black lab, and they worked together for 2 years. And you guys know how we talk about dogs a lot on searches and things like that. Well, I didn't know that a dog could be a scent dog and find people, but they also could search for narcotics. But that's what Midnight does, so he's multi-talented. But it says that they've worked together for 2 years, and they've actually found 5 missing people now altogether. So I wanted to show you guys that. We'll watch the body cam first. Okay, since I got premium, we don't have to watch any commercials this way, thank goodness. Okay. You guys can hear the helicopters.
I'll be 502 in the background. Hey, Matt, are you on the phone with him? Yeah. Can you stay here? No problem.
Stay back.
Yeah. No, it doesn't mess up the sign.
Officer Clark said that his dog actually made it to the child first because he was stuck in all the brush and the briars and things like that. And the baby was just playing on his iPad, bless him. My mom said he probably thought, I'm leaving. I'm getting out of this house for a while. I can't listen to my show. Bless his heart.
All right, you're done. Okay. Sopa. Sopa.
Wonder what he's telling him. Wonder what kind of language was that. I better not say it because I might say it might. I might mess it up and say something bad. Do you think that they tell him those commands in a different language so that, like, we couldn't tell the dog what to do? And I don't know why I thought that, you guys, but it makes sense, doesn't it? So, like, anybody couldn't just tell it what to do, you think?
Hey. Come here, buddy. Where you at? I'm coming.
I think he was scared of the doggy, you guys. I think the dog found him first and it scared him, bless his heart.
I'm coming. I'm coming. Get him, Bubba. Find him, Bubba. Five, 10, and 11 Central. I got him.
This is Florida too, you guys. Imagine all of the wildlife that could have hurt him just even in those 45 minutes he was out there.
Correction, 5 off of 15. I'm sorry. Come here, buddy. Come on, I'm gonna take you home. I'm gonna take you home, okay? Come on. Midnight found him. Hey, buddy. Is your blanket? Come on. Hey, buddy. Good job, buddy. Good job, Midnight. Good job, Bubba.
Oh, he likes it. Good job. Come here. Come here. We're going to take your mom. We're going to take your mom, okay? You gonna grab the dog for us?
Come here, Bubba. Midnight here. Midnight here. Midnight here. Midnight here. Good boy. Good boy, buddy. Good boy. Good boy, Bubba. Good boy, Bubba. There's a good boy. There's a
Oh, look, he's so happy.
good boy. Good boy, buddy. Good boy.
That's the mama, you guys. I always think that if, like, I know armchair quarterbacks or whatever, that, you know, I always think, well, if I had kids, I would do this or that. But I think if I had a young child, I would get those door locks that lock at the top. I know that kids figure out how to do stuff like that. They're little MacGyvers, but at least it would be a little something extra for peace of mind. And I do have an article that shows a little bit more about Midnight, you guys. We can look at that. Oh, this one didn't even have any commercials, you guys. I spoke too soon. Hang on. I'll come back to get you guys in just a second.
Canine's nose helped police track down a 3-year-old boy.
He had wandered into some woods behind his home Friday, but Canine Midnight picked up the boy's scent and led officers right to him. News 6's Molly Reed met Midnight and his handler to see how they get results together.
Well, Canine Midnight and its handler got that call around noon on Friday that the 3-year-old boy was missing. So the pair jumped into the car, jumped into action with the handler's body camera attached to his uniform, capturing the entire process from start to finish to find the boy. And with the sniff of the child's blanket, Canine Midnight and handler Corporal Damon Clark.
Oh, I forgot to tell you guys. He sniffed the blanket. That's how he was able to find him.
Clark set out to find him. The police say the 3-year-old boy quickly snuck off from his family and into the swampy woods behind their house. Clark giving Midnight commands as the dog led the way.
They always say that the dog feels what you feel. So I always try to go into this confident.
The team moved quickly.
Vanessa was telling me the other day about horses. I think it was Vanessa, or I was watching another show. You guys, I get down these rabbit holes on YouTube, and it I don't know how I end up there, and I need to drop somebody my location sometimes to come and get me out. But it was about horses and about how they feel your feelings too. And I just didn't think about it about dogs, but that's so true, because when I had my little doggy, he was, I had him for almost 13 years, and he used to go everywhere with me, you guys. In my car, I would tell him to hop in, and he would hop in and jump to the back, because when I take my wheelchair apart, I put the body of it in the passenger seat beside me, and I take the wheels off and put them behind the passenger seat. So he knew that he couldn't sit in the passenger seat, so he would hop behind me, behind the driver's seat. And so anyways, and when I got ready to get out, I would say, "Wait, Bubba," because he knew if he got out before I got my wheelchair out, it would be really dangerous, because I couldn't stop him or tell him not to run out places and stuff like that. So I taught him how to do that. And but that just made me think, when I was upset, you know, he would come and snuggle with me and lay on my chest and stuff like that. I'll have to get a picture next time so I can show you guys. He passed away 8/8/19, and I just haven't had the heart to get another one yet, you guys. And to be honest with you, I know this is a total side note, but I think that's why I don't drive by myself anymore, because I don't have him anymore. And so used to, when I would drive, I would get nervous and pull over and just snuggle with him for a few minutes. And I think that's why I don't want to drive by myself anymore. Like, I've actually talked to a therapist about it and everything, you guys. But anyways, yeah, side note. But yeah, I never really thought about it like that, but it's true. They do feel your feelings. So he has to go into it not thinking, will we find this kid? It's like, we are going to find this kid. Midnight, it's all on you. Like that song, Fancy, Don't Let Me Down. Midnight, don't let me down, buddy.
It's like he wasn't going to stop.
Tracking the child down in about 45 minutes.
Here, Bubba. Find him, Bubba.
And once he found the little boy, he just started licking him. The dog was actually able to get to him much quicker than I was, because I'm getting caught up on vines.
Come on, I'm going to take you home. I'm going to take you home, okay?
The reunion between the child and mother captured on the body camera.
I was very relieved, you know, and as a parent, I know how I would feel if that was my kid. This is my fifth one, missing person that we found.
The 3-year-old black lab is full of energy, and on top of missing people, Midnight helps sniff out and track narcotics.
He's only been working 2 years, you guys. He's a 3-year-old black lab, and he's only been working 2 years, and he's already found 5 people. That's great.
Corporal Clark showing me what really keeps him motivated today.
Yes.
A shiny green tennis ball.
The dog makes me look good. I'm not going to lie. I'm the dumb end of the leash.
The Canine and Corporal Clark, a team that never leaves each other's side and strives to bring others back together.
I have to read his actions, read his motions, read his movements and stuff like that. And so we're a good team.
And of course,
He works for a tennis ball, you guys. Bless his heart. Wonder what? Oh my goodness, you guys. I was just thinking if you guys could tell some of your husbands what to do and if a tennis ball would work. I don't know.
Of course, we had to ask what kind of treats K9 Midnight received for finding the little boy. We're told he got lots of tennis balls and a cheeseburger. In the land, Volusia County, I'm Molly Reed, getting results, News 6.
Oh no, Debbie. I'm so sorry. Yes, I hope you feel better. ASAP. Okay, you guys, let me see. I think that was all that I was going to tell you guys about that one. Yeah, I'm looking at the article, and I think that I told you guys everything there was to know about it already in my notes. Okay, and there's that crossed my mind after I said it. I was thinking, well, probably not for tennis balls, but probably take a little something else. Oh my goodness, I'm blushing now. Oh my goodness. Okay, you guys, there is have you guys heard of Matt Room before? It's one more about cars, you guys. Oh, I have this with Midnight, and I forgot to show you guys. That's Midnight, and then that's his handler, and then the mama and the baby on the right. I'm glad that they blurred their faces out, but she's not letting go of him, is she? Mm-mm. Okay, you guys, let me get my pictures up because there is Matt Room. He is 27 years old, and in December of this year, he was driving around. His friend had passed away, and he was, let me show you guys. Yeah, he is a welder who lives in Indiana, near South Bend, Indiana. And on 12/20, he had been up for 18 hours, he said. He was upset because his friend had passed away and he had missed his celebration of life. So he really wanted to go to his friend's funeral. And he was driving around and talking to his friend's parents and things like that, trying to decide when he was going to leave for it. And so he said that he decided he would go home and then start early in the morning on his way to Missouri for his friend's funeral. And on his way home, it was about 11 p.m. And he said that he sees what he thinks is a deer, and he swerves and he crashes his truck. And so I'm going to show you guys next what his truck looked like. So if pictures like that bother you, please tune out, and we'll catch you here in a few minutes. This is his truck, you guys. This is one side of it, and this is the driver's side. And when he crashed, he rolled sometimes, and then he ended up under a bridge. And he said the whole 6 days that he was under there, that he could hear people, above him, and they were so close but yet so far away. His phone was out of reach, and this is where he was, you guys, inside here. And his phone ended up on the passenger side, out of his reach. And he said he screamed and screamed and screamed and tried to get Siri to call for help, and she wouldn't. And he tried to press the emergency button in his truck, and that wouldn't work. And his horn wouldn't work. So I'm thinking something with the electrical is why his horn wouldn't work. But he was inside here, you guys, for 6 days. And this is what his truck looked like when they were picking it up off the bridge, finally, when they got him out. And so I'll put it back on him, you guys, because I don't want you guys to have to look at that for a long time. But on the 6th day, he said that he had decided that he was going to go out in a blaze of glory. And you guys know what that means. I don't want to have to say it. But, and he had actually written his obituary in a notebook beside him. And he thought, well, I'm going to take a nap. And then when I wake up, I'm going to decide for sure what to do. And yes, smartwatches. That would have helped tremendously. I was thinking about getting one of those for myself. And so he decided he would take a nap, and then he would decide what he felt like when he woke up. And he starts hearing the rocks move beside him, and he sees somebody come up, and he says, "Are you real?" Because he didn't really think that that person was real. And the person actually said, before he said that, he said, "Are you alive?" Because he thought there was no way that somebody would be alive in this truck. It was a man named Mario and his son-in-law, Novardo. And they were out looking for places to fish. And this was in December, you guys. And Matt says, who goes out looking for places to fish in December? But these two were. And they found him and got him help. And they're still friends to this day. And it took an hour to get him out of the truck, just to get him out of the truck. They used the jaws of life and things like that. And he had a broken leg, a broken hand, and you guys saw inside of the cab how that the driver's compartment was, and his left leg was smashed really badly, so he did have to have his left leg amputated. But he was actually, he's doing really good with that, and I'm sure that he's really grateful to be alive no matter what. But I wanted to show you guys some body camera from when he was rescued. So take care if this will bother you too.
Hang on, buddy. You stay there. We got medics coming, okay? Don't worry about nothing. I'm going to start cutting back some of this airbag, okay? Yep. Ben, we got you, buddy. We're gonna get you out of here, okay? How far down your leg can you still feel? Left leg outside the knee. Okay. Right leg, I can wiggle my toes all the way down. All right.
He said his left leg he could feel above the knee, and his right leg that he could wiggle his toes. So.
Go ahead and pull your left arm inside the vehicle for me. Just trying to get at you, man. Please watch yourself. Understood. Least of my worries. I know. Okay. So left leg stuck under the A-pillar. Yep. And then right leg stuck in between.
Oh, it's making me claustrophobic looking at you guys. Imagine 6 days. 6 days. I mean, 6 minutes, but 6 days. Goodness.
Steering shaft and all that? Steering rack and can't go any further this way. Okay. Okay, I'm just going to grab your arm real quick, okay? I'm just... 9.
He thought the fisherman said he thought that he's been here 6 days, and then Matt says 9, I think. So I think he was confused and in shock at this moment.
Nothing like 120 right now, BPM.
There is one thing that I was wondering, you guys. So in those 6 days that he was missing, it was Christmas and Christmas Eve. So he went missing on the 20th, right? But there was no missing persons report filed on him, I read. So I was wondering about that. So you think maybe if there was, that they would have pinged his phone and maybe found him sooner? I don't know.
Okay. Okay. All right. I'm gonna do some more cutting. Okay, you're good. Hey, just so you know, you can get in through Salt Creek Commons too. You-
And then the rest of it is when they get the rescuers down there to get him out and things like that. I just wanted you guys to see inside there. Hey, you can never have too many snacks, right? And I always tell my mom to carry a blanket for some reason. Like even in the summer, I don't know what we're gonna do with the blanket, but we'll have it just in case. Okay, and I wanted you guys to see when he's talking to the 2 guys that found him. He ended up spending 3 weeks in the hospital in total. This is a video that the hospital put out. I gotta share screen with you guys. I was watching it without you. Hang on just 1 second. This is Matt Room, who was found trapped in his car for 6 days, experienced a reunion at Memorial Hospital with those responsible for his rescue.
What's up, buddy?
There he is.
Good. You know, it's giving people hope. The troopers couldn't believe I was alive, and the firefighters couldn't, and nobody could believe that I was alive.
Our first instinct was get you out of it.
Yeah.
Even though we're not responders, first responder, our instinct right away is to save your life.
The 6 days I was down there were longest, scariest, most terrifying days of my life because that day I had given up hope. And you know, that morning I had, and I think I handed you my notebook, but that notebook had my obituary in it, and it had a suicide note to my best friend because
If you guys were down there and he had given his notebook to you, would you guys have looked at it? I wouldn't have looked at it. I know I wouldn't have looked at it. I'm really weird about personal things like this. And so I wouldn't have looked at it. I hope he got it back.
I was not planning on getting through that day. And, you know, those 2 showed up in the right place at the right time. And, you know, that thanks to them, you know, the state police was able to show up and you guys showed up. And there were so many miracles that led to that moment. No possible way I can ever.
Oh, look at him, you guys.
The act of you guys showing up saved my life.
And in that photo, they had already taken his leg, but he was happy. I think that's a lesson to all of us, you know? I think I have one more updated interview with him. This was after he was out of the hospital and everything, and I'll show you guys that, and then I'll let you go.
6 days trapped in a wrecked car.
And it wasn't really until I was in the ICU where I'm like, I'm going to live.
Let's rewind to well before the accident. Matt Ream is a 27-year-old who loves the outdoors and has been running since high school.
So I've always kind of liked running. It's been 10 years since I graduated, but every so often I'll just go out and run, or I'll be on a hike and just start running.
Now, December, he's driving home after working all day in Hobart and spots a deer.
I'll
on the
be
road.
I'll be honest with you guys. Even before I got hurt, I didn't like running. So, when I was a cheerleader, you guys, if you were talking on the sidelines or anything, you would have to run laps at the next practice. So, I always am talking everywhere I can. So I would always have to run extra laps. And so, no, I didn't like running before, but he can absolutely get back to it. I've seen those prosthetics that people run track with and everything. So he can absolutely do whatever he wants to.
A pair of what looks like deer's eyes in the middle of the road, and I swerve onto the shoulder. And I go to swerve back onto the highway, and by then the guardrail had already popped up.
Matt crashed and came to a stop below an overpass on I-94. He couldn't move, reach his phone, or honk the horn. His full-size truck that damaged. He then passed out, and when he woke up, his mindset changed to, how am I going to survive? Matt then found his saving grace, rain, which is quite rare in December, but for Matt, it potentially saved his life.
Yeah, that's how he survived, you guys. He didn't have any food for those whole 6 days, but he did find a way to siphon the rainwater so that he would at least have that.
Take kind of that visor that covers up the sunshade, and I can kind of put a bend into it to where that'll just funnel all the water, and then drink the water through the sweatpants, trying to filter out any kind of the debris or anything like that.
With no way to move or
Yeah,
contact
he was
anyone.
smart enough to even filter the water. He said first that he wasn't filtering it and it tasted like diesel and had asphalt in it and stuff like that because it was coming from the bridge up above, with thousands of cars each day. So he figured out his sweatpants that he could filter the water through that. So that helped him a lot, he said.
Matt's only option was to attract attention.
For the 6 days I was down there, I'd been waking up at 7 o'clock every morning-ish and just yelling till about noon.
As the 6th day started, Matt was starting to lose hope that he would be found.
I came to terms with self-harm and suicide. I thought about it. I acted on it 3 times.
I'm sorry that I forgot to warn you guys about this. There was 2 different versions of this, and there was a longer version in this version, and I thought that this version didn't have that in it, so I'm sorry about that, you guys.
Then 2 fishermen, Mario Garcia and Navardo del Torre, discovered the wrecked car.
Mario kind of pulls back the curtain airbag, and he looks at me. He's like, "Are you alive?" I'm like, and I still can't believe it's a person.
Matt was rescued and airlifted to South Bend Memorial Hospital, where he finally realized he was going to survive.
And that was one of the most impactful moments for me, because I finally came to the realization that I'm going to live.
An optimistic Matt considers what happened a best case scenario.
I didn't have any internal injuries. My biggest injury was my leg, but I had lost all feeling to that within the first 10 minutes.
That's the way that I try to look at things, you guys. Even though that I'm paraplegic, I know Joni Eareckson Tada. I don't know if you guys know her, but somebody gave me her book when I first got hurt. And she broke her neck when she was 17 years old, and she's in her 60s now, I believe. And she's actually quadriplegic, so she can move her arms but not her wrists to grasp anything or things like that. And she's a motivational speaker, and she also speaks about her faith a lot. And she really helped me reading her book when I first got hurt. But I always think about, well, at least I can be independent still now, like I have hand controls on my car, and I can live by myself and do everything by myself. And could you guys imagine, even if you had to have somebody help you every time you wanted a sip of water and things like that? And so I try to look at the bright side of things, and so that's what Matt's doing here. So I try to tell you guys stories where we can get inspiration, and I think he's very inspirational. He says he does want to go back to work as a welder, but he'd also like to be an inspirational speaker, and I think he definitely could be. Inspector Gadget told me about another where this lady lived 8 days in her car, and it's a really interesting story, you guys, but I already had the story about Matt together, but I will share that with you guys next time because it is really, really interesting. They actually thought that her husband might have done something to her while she was missing, and she wrote a book about it. That's what made me think of that. But
minutes.
And his positive attitude is a common theme.
If I can save one person's life, I'm great with that. If I can save 1,000 people's lives, I'm even better with that.
Matt has already found his outlet through this tragedy, his humor.
I shut down the busiest highway in America for 3 hours, just dead stop. And that's going to be, I'm going to get like a little plaque that says that.
The story of Matt Ream is far from over. He plans to write a book, inspire others through motivational speaking, and return to his love of running.
I do want to run a 5K, and I want a sub 18. That'd be great.
I'm Sean Paul.
He's only 27 years old, you guys. I think that he is super mature for his age. Jen, no, I don't think that I think he was single, and I don't think he has any kids yet. But I think that's all that I wanted to share with you guys. I do want to share the fundraiser for Jessica again, the GoFundMe. I always say check out GoFundMe for yourself. You guys do your due diligence. But I did find this from the missing page for James Ray. This is for his wife Jessica and their 3 kids. So if you guys feel led to donate, I'm sure they would really appreciate it. But if you can't donate, there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. I know that she appreciates all prayers. They were asking for that this whole time. That's what they've been asking for, is prayers. Thank you guys for coming and hanging out with me today. I know in our community and in this genre in particular, there's so much bad that we see all the time. And like I said earlier, you guys, I know that the odds aren't good. Like with little Sebastian, I know that the odds aren't good, but I have to keep up hope, and we have to keep up hope when we talk about these stories and when we try to spread awareness. And I just feel that we have to. And so that's why I love doing these happy stories with you guys, because I feel like it shows you guys that although the odds are bad or aren't good, but there is a chance. And we see that in these stories that I share with you guys every week. Yeah, guys, Aaron just dropped my email, and you guys can email me if you want to join my Discord, or if you have any stories that you'd like to share with me or news. I will share that story that Inspector Gadget shared with me last time, you guys. It's really interesting. I've already got all of it together almost, but we had a lot of car stuff in this live, and I know that gets to people sometimes. It gets to me sometimes too, you guys. But I will share that next time. And you guys share anything else with me that you'd like to. Aaron dropped my email. And thank you, all my mods. I think that it's about all mods that's in here. Yeah, Music City Mom. I was definitely praying for a different outcome, too. That's how I was aware of James's case, you guys, from Music City Mom. Yeah. Okay, you guys. Yeah, I think that, yeah, don't be a Debbie Downer. No, absolutely not. Thank you guys for coming. I appreciate you all so much. And I will see you all next time. I love you all. Bye.